Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. We're going through yet another cross-examination with Bikini here. Let's just see what she has to say. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. Oh, that's kind of an important detail. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Ami was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. That's weird.
This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory.
I don't know that that's true, actually. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Francisca Von Karma, and I'm here to teach you just that. Alright, let's see what we can get out of this.
Hold it!
At that time, was the victim bleeding?
Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. So I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood, not then. Wait. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound.
In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed?
Okay, that's kind of important.
Think carefully, this is very important.
It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body. Might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in the room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. Wait, didn't you just say she didn't see blood?
So you're saying you saw the victim's blood?
That's right. Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner.
What?
Clothes were blood-flecked as well.
That seems quite conclusive to me.
What should I do? Press this point further? I think we have to. Yeah. Alright, let's see.
Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now you say you saw the victim bleeding.
Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw.
What did you see?
Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her plain as day.
Pulling the sword out?
Well, it wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like it came out.
Witness, you will add this to your testimony.
Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. Wait, what?
Hold it!
Press that. That doesn't seem right.
Smoothly, you say. You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out.
That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Ami. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. I feel like that contradicts something. Alright, we'll go through the court record after we go through all this. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from that gaping wound.
It goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding.
Nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appears to have happened.
Hold it!
Was the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword?
No mistaking it, I remember it all clear as day.
Don't you think that's a bit odd?
What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth?
Why would the killer pull out the sword?
What?
If all she wanted to do was place the weapon in the hand of the gold statue, then there is no reason to remove it from the body.
It's true.
All that would accomplish is causing the victim to bleed unnecessarily. Your thoughts, Miss Von Karma?
That's...
Indeed, it is strange now that you mention it.
I'm going to need to find an answer to this mystery, too. Anyway, the witness saw something terrible. So what did you do after that, witness?
Hold it!
Now on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct?
Well, I was unconscious. How long were you out for? I don't know, 10, maybe 20 minutes? A young man with a very prickly-looking head woke me up. By stepping on me, actually.
I'm not sure if I like that method of resuscitation.
That's... I don't know why, that's funny to me. Well, I wasn't asking for mouth-to-mouth or anything of the sort. But I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, let me tell you.
I shall have words with the offender personally. What did you see upon awakening?
Hold it!
By Mystic Ami, you were referring to the gold statue, correct?
Just stabbing someone with the Shishido, a sacred treasure, is terrible enough. But to then make Mystic Ami hold the blade. Truly a heinous, despicable crime.
It is easy to despise something. Anyone can do it.
Yup.
However, there is something that cannot be done so easily.
Whatever is it, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. Anyway, what is your problem?
Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that?
No, I don't think I can.
There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true. So true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself... Isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the Shishido from the Ami statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I will begin to find the truth. Alright, so let's go through. We need to present something. Let's see what we got. The staff. So here's one thing that jumped out to me, and I wanted to take a look at the sword first. I swear she said that it was like hilt deep, but there isn't hilt deep blood. Iris's hood, note to Iris. Other data. Photo of Elise. Anything? No, it's not gonna help me. Rang lights out bell at 10 p.m. and was then in her room until the murder was discovered. Well, so we know that's a lie. Because I don't think Bikini is lying. I don't think she was in her room the whole time. Loss of blood from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. Alright. Can I find that statement again? Didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. Plunged into the hilt. Yeah, they're like really explicit about that.
Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about?
The scene that the witness claims to have seen. The weapon was thrust up to the hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities.
What do you mean? Please explain, you.
Explain yourself. Explain yourself.
To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone with the hilt to the hilt with this?
No.
No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Doesn't appear. A meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail. No one is thinking that at all. It might be the whip, but I don't think anyone's thinking that. But I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I so choose.
The objection stands. I whipped a little back there, I must admit.
That isn't the only issue here. If the sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly.
That's...
We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story.
That's true. Yeah.
The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
That's nothing more than conjecture. No, that's like fact. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shichishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction.
You still got more?
This one is simple. If the sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword.
No. Forgot you were standing on the crate. Ugh. Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
But what does this all mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but...
Having come this far, there can only be one answer.
And that is...
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shichishito.
What?
A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy, foolish fool.
Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think the sword was the murder weapon?
Well... it's because Mystic Ami was holding it.
Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that Shichishito was the murder weapon.
Order!
So maybe the Shichishito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with the sword-like object.
That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth?
If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises.
The obvious question?
Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found?
That's...
Answer the question, Miss Von Karma.
No evidence of the kind was found. Also, it had her fingerprints on it. Why would she use that as a weapon?
Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me. Could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was it was just over there.
Ew, what exactly are you going on about here?
The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of.
You what?
Well then. I think we need to hear the testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible.
What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Location of the weapon. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. and after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while it was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all.
Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best of shape. What with my back and my age, you know. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here is a photograph.
Snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory.
The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes. The Eagle River current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of a murder weapon. Really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon?
Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
You're sure about the time?
Yes, I was worried about it after all.
Why was that?
Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night, now could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Your estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister.
You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct?
Right, the one who trampled me. Seems she's the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him.
He had forgotten it at home, apparently.
What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, I always have my whip in hand, too. I don't know if those are the same. I don't know if that's quite the same thing. Anyway, I was really scared and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. Okay.
As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited.
That's it. That's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls.
Now you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived?
Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. Not sure if this is really relevant. should I do? Well, I don't get the sense we're going to be punished for not pressing further, so let's go. I need answers to every possible doubt.
The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at that time?
Ha 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 ha. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean, eh?
What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. You really are.
It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used.
I see. I never thought of that.
That's right, I overlooked that too.
Of course you did.
Then answer the question, please, witness.
I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it.
Snow?
Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it? Curses.
It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh?
How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile?
In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking.
Ah, there's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain?
I think that's why the question was asked in the first place.
It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. Why'd the music stop? I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch.
Crunch.
I haven't been able to find the courage to ride anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it.
Refresh our memory, how long were you knocked out for?
Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile.
We have to concede that it's more than enough time.
Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth?
Well, it would have been possible time-wise. One element remains out of place here.
Oh, and what would this mystery element be?
The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods?
Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Ms. Von Karma?
Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor?
What?
He's over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there's surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Went out to the main gate, and there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. Oh! Oops. I didn't mean to do that.
It does? How do you mean?
I wanted to look at that.
Forgive me, Your Honor, but you just said it yourself that it does.
Don't try to play mind games with me.
Curses, it appears I have yet to adjust to being on this side of the courtroom. I didn't mean to do that.
Ah!
Is there a way? I wanted to look at the... I don't think so, actually. Hold on. Where is it? Maybe they threw... No, I don't think so. I didn't want to present that, just not there.
I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder.
You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. No.
However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks?
Yes. What do you mean?
Iris left Hazakura Temple, then threw the weapon into the river and then returned. If that was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow.
Yup.
Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back.
Oh, that's actually different than where I was going with that. When we were talking about another set of tracks, I was thinking she would have run into Phoenix. Which I realize now was wrong. Alright. Well, I had an accident that worked in my favor, or that worked against me, and now I had an accident that worked in my favor. I'm just gonna call that one a draw. Ah, you're right. You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? No.
Yeah, I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving us the return tracks in the snow.
What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Her flaw in her theory? Yes. The idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. There's a contradiction.
The tracks of the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible.
Would you care to explain why there's a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction?
No need, the evidence will do all the talking for me.
On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow, or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow.
And we'll just have to figure out what that evidence is in the next episode. It's funny. I completely... Yeah, when I presented that one thing, I didn't mean to, and then, for some reason, I was thinking that that Phoenix would have run into her, but that is not the case. Although I'm wondering, I still feel like that's possible. But if she was unconscious, then I guess for 20 minutes, then I guess not. Because Phoenix would have gone through first. What? It's alright, I'll take it, because it'll probably not work in my favor again. So that's gonna do it for me. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.